Chicken dumplings.
Chicken dumplings. I can't believe fucking he did a whisper for like 20 fucking minutes.
Oh, that whisper on that stream.
Yeah, and then fucking never went off on us. It's like he just comes in like this, just talking like this over it. Oh wow.
I was just double checking to see if the boost is still on. I'm like, yes, it's still on.
Should be
I'm like,
something
how
on.
much is it again? The boosted again? Oh, $50. No.
Oh
No.
Jesus! I wish I was that rich.
But that's 1080p, and that's each month. So
That's insane.
It's alright.
That's if we all got it. Like we all chipped in, we'd probably get 1080p. Well, mainly me and Daz.
yeah,
It's $25 each.
Oh, fuck.
It's not too bad.
Alright.
Damn, autofocus is just gonna move in it. That's weird.
Do you know what else is weird?
The Beardy Bros podcast.
the Beardy Bros vlog.
Yeah! What's up, beardies and beardettes? You're listening to another...
BDS.
Beardies and beardettes and bigger dicks.
Beardies and bigger dicks.
Some beardies and bigger dicks. You're listening to another fine episode of the Beardy Bros podcast. Yeah, hopefully enjoy it. I don't even know if it comes through. Don't even know if it detects properly.
It did.
It may look like it does. It kind of just does. So how are we all?
Fucking awesome, man.
Good.
Another week, another podcast. As always, we love doing this. And
We should do 2 a week, really.
2 a week. Oof.
One on Wednesday, one on Saturday or Tuesday.
That's why I want to have other content, so we can have like other content midweek and then podcast for the weekend.
But we're still figuring that out, so.
Oh, it's what people love. Whatever. Who knows? People are loving it here and there. Sometimes people don't like. It's kind of funny. Like you look at the analytics. Like sometimes people don't like the episode for like when it comes out, but then you leave it like a week or 2 later, and then the spikes up again, like the older episodes.
Sometimes they mustn't know it's out, and then like they check early, and then they don't till later.
Yeah. So
Because I don't get a ding for some people until a week later. It's like, what?
I know, it's so weird. Pinchy, pinchy, pinchy.
Pinchy, pinchy, pinchy.
Readjusting. But no, so yeah, it's been I guess a quiet week. Not much has been happening. It's been pretty...
Nothing big, anyway. Like,
No, there's not much. Like, there's
nothing headliners or anything.
no massive news. There's not much really, like in the sense of what we usually follow, what we talk about.
Returnal coming out this month.
Well, we got Returnal. Well, that's in general. It's just a month. That's just
Yeah. Was it Chivalry 2?
Chivalry 2,
yeah. So there's a few games coming out, but it's nothing massive.
Well, there's some more, but I didn't take
The only thing that I was a bit surprised with, I actually would go with Returnal in mentioning the only weird thing about that is like there's been articles going around going, oh, is PlayStation's version of like is PlayStation's Crackdown 3 gonna beat like Halo? And I'm like, but it's not even Crackdown 3, it's Returnal. How is Returnal even like Crackdown? Like why are people? Yes, I mean, like why are people referring to Crackdown 3? Like, I mean,
it's a fucking indie dev game.
And like Crackdown was never an indie either. Crackdown was like a title, like a big title.
That's an Xbox party game, like.
Yeah, and that's been around like that's the 3rd game, like. Okay.
But it had how many devs work on it? Like how many teams?
I don't know. The headlines have been weird. I don't get it. They just keep linking Returnal. I'm like, it's a completely different feels, different platforms.
I give it 9 out of 10. I believe it just by what I've seen.
That looks good. Big tips to the people that made that.
And they didn't go the usual young person there, the protagonist. It's like someone in her 50s or something, 60s as the main character.
Mixed up a little bit.
Like it's good. Like they're doing their own thing. Story's a bit something yet because we don't really know, but you know it's a time loop thing. Like you die, you repeat.
Makes it kind of an easy cover of for you dying kind of thing.
Roguelite. Like you start back at the start when you actually die. You keep some skills and that. Keep some for progression.
Yep.
But you then go find your dead body and get your shit back.
That kind of reminds me a little bit like also of like I think it was Outer Wilds was like that. You had like a certain amount of time to like before the bomb went off, and you had to like go through a sequence of doing stuff, and you could do different things within the time limit. But at the same time, you actually had to do the puzzles to try and solve and stop the end of the world or whatever it was. But yeah, it's weird because then you could do stuff and it would affect the next playthrough sometimes, and you could do different things, which I thought was pretty cool. So I like when games do that, where it just time reloops. It's like Groundhog Day, but then you've also impacted the next replay. So
Yeah, like you know it's going to happen, so you're prepared. But then
Mm.
after that, when it goes to shit again, it's
Mm.
like, and you learn from that. It's a
Learn that from
constant
experience,
cycle.
yeah. Which is not too bad, which I think is pretty
Which
cool.
people need them games.
Always.
Like you don't just want here's A, here's B, get there, and that's it.
Mm.
You actually want to learn. You want to
Make it a bit
adapt
trickier,
to
add
situations.
puzzles to it.
Yeah. Oh, this Returnal, they got like boss fights, like random boss fights,
Mm.
which you can die just like that, and it like they can one tap you, and then of course you start back from the start, and you're like, I'm not doing that again.
Actually, I was thinking, wouldn't it be like actually that makes kind of sense? Wouldn't it be kind of like playing a third-person version, then not top-down of like, for
It's,
example,
it's like Hades apparently.
Hades? I was gonna say, yeah, I was thinking like those dungeon crawlers, like Binding of Isaac
Mm,
and stuff like that,
yeah,
where you like go through like set areas, but
because
then of course they're not
levels are
always the same.
procedurally generated, so
Mm.
you die. It's not the same as before.
Mm.
Like it slightly changes, or
Yeah, well, I think
it's
that's
Actually,
pretty
pretty
that,
cool.
damn cool.
that reminds me. You guys seen that movie Boss Level that just came out?
Nah,
It's been out for a couple of weeks now. It's got oh god, Frank Grillo and like, oh, yeah, what's his name? Aussie actor in Lethal Weapon.
Mel Gibson,
Mel Gibson, yeah, he's in it as well.
Joe
Um,
Gibson.
Joel Gibson.
Joel
Look at
Mibson.
what he back in does.
Joel Mibson.
Joel Gibson. But yeah, it's kind of like video game concept where you got your character Frank Grillo. He wakes up, he's going to kill a bunch of bad guys, and he relives the day again and again, like Groundhog.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's kind of like a video game, you know, where
I've seen the
you
trailer
die
of
and you
that.
go back to the reset, and then he's going to live through it, and it's really entertaining on how like he's got all these assassins coming after him, and he's got to learn from, you know, all right, 2 minutes, blah blah blah, you know, wake up, guy with a minigun at my window, blah blah blah, guy in my room trying to
Yep.
stab me, you know, etc. You know, assassin comes here, and you just see how he dies every single time. That he doesn't, and he learns from those mistakes, and he just repeats again. and again.
Becomes better each time. So he's like
Yeah.
skilled like
It's
what?
kind of
It's like
like a-
it's like he knows when someone's coming in, so he's like whoop bam, like with it because he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
learned
yeah.
that someone showed up
Yeah.
at this time, or he'll be like
One-
okay throw now, and it's like he knows because he's timed it, and it's like someone will do this and that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, he's versing this sword fighter, this this chick that's sword fighter, and every time she chops off his head. So he's like,
Oh.
that's it. I'm gonna learn how to sword fight. So, you know, he spends all this time learning how to sword fight. So it's the whole
I want
Groundhog
to
Day.
watch that now.
It's a
That's
terrific movie. It's really good. You'll recognize the actors.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo is the guy that in Marvel he played Crossbones
Mm.
No,
in Avengers.
He got-
Avengers.
He got blown up.
Yeah, he got blown up by Wanda. But yeah, he played Crossbones in that movie. Yeah, and he's in the movie Boss Level. So it's really good, really entertaining. It's one of those fun, you know, action movies. But it's just every.
So it's not a
creative
bad one
ways
then.
he dies. Yeah.
Yeah, action thriller time loop. There's
Because some of Mel Gibson's ones recently have been a bit.
He's fun in this one, like kind of fun. Like he's not over, like he's not the main character. He's a character.
Yeah,
He's
like everyone else.
you know, yeah, he's like a villain, but you know, he's not focused on. It's
because
focused
in
on, you know.
Daddy's Home 2, he was a bit.
He too arrogant. He had like this arrogant role, which is
Yeah,
just a bit
well,
unnecessary.
that's Mel Gibson though, really.
I know, but yeah,
Because you heard
playing him.
stories about him, like people not like working with him and all that, because he's just a fucking.
So they end up playing him like that character, which is like okay if you want to.
Which it kind of fits him, but it just wasn't. It wasn't to the potential of it, really.
You mean like the
Okay.
classic when he
It was
Patriot?
underdone. Yeah, like something like that would have been good as
Mm.
in that movie. Like, I don't know. It's just it's been a bit weird recently in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been picking the wrong roles, I guess.
No, this one he was pretty good. He was pretty good. But
Yeah,
you know,
I seen the
movie
trailer
didn't
like
focus
a
on
few months ago, but I forgot about it. Did you just? Because I saw the trailer. It looked good.
It was a good movie. It's go to cinemas. Recommend watching it. It was pretty good.
Oh, it's in the-
not
it's
the
in the
best,
movies.
but you know, a good like action flick to sit down and watch. I'd say two good action films, good to see in the last couple of months. Yeah, is Boss Level and Nobody.
Mm.
Nobody. I probably want to watch that.
Yeah, that one.
That'd be good.
And,
Well,
sorry,
that's exactly it.
oh,
Well,
and Mortal Kombat.
yeah. I say these guys haven't seen it.
I'd love
I've
to see
seen
that one. Haven't seen it.
I've seen Mortal Kombat. So I definitely recommend it as a fun kind of film. Like, definitely go watch it. There's a few moments in the film that was a bit like, okay, they've definitely cut the film down, and it was kind of obvious that they'd cut the movie down at
Was it
certain
long
points.
in the first place when you watched it, or not really?
No, it seemed to go paced very well, but there are just moments where you can kind of tell there was scenes or dialogue
Cowboy.
that, yeah, you can kind of tell there's certain scenes and stuff that had happened, and they're like, sometimes they do make references that you kind of skim over, but they make a reference, but it's like, but that didn't happen. So there's like little moments where it happens, but it doesn't fully affect the film unless you're really paying attention. But it's just like a little minute, and there's a few times it happens. And I was like, there was one big part, and I was just like, okay. I was like, I mean, I don't want to spoil it per se.
Hellboy. It's like, done.
But basically, there's this. I don't want to delve too far into the scene, but you'll notice when you get to it. But there's just a mention where they talk. There's a scene that happens, and they talk about we should train. And instead of going into like, which you'd assume, okay, let's train. Let's have some kind of training montage happen. It's like, there's a group of people, and there's like certain characters that are there. They go, oh, we should do training, and the next scene just cuts where the four characters or whatever it was, they were standing in the room. Now it's cut to a different scene. They're all at like, it's outside, and one of those characters that was in the group, it's like us having a group conversation saying, oh, I'll be back, and then out of nowhere, it cuts, and I'm just magically outside, like by myself. It's just like, it's like we're talking about training. It's like, okay, we're gonna train. And the next minute, like, one of the characters that was in that group is now immediately outside, and he's, like, been sitting outside, like, doing something for, like, it feels like he's been sitting there for, like, 20 minutes, half an hour. Yet he felt like he was just in the room, like, 5 minutes ago, talking with everyone. And then the scene does this whole sequence, and then they all come out of that same room going, oh, what's happening? Like, the conversation just happened, but the person was in that room with them. And it's just like, what? It's just like, okay.
Kind of jumps, yeah.
It's just like jumps, like I'm hitting here, like, it's like the same again, I'll go back, like I'm sitting here talking with you guys.
Yeah, it happens,
we pan to a camera, and I've been sitting outside like I've been having dinner for the last half an hour, but it's like I've just been sitting here talking. And it's like we've been all talking, and somehow magically I just appeared like I'd never been in this conversation for like the last 12 minutes. Like, it's like, what? I was like, that it felt like there was a scene missing.
Whoever cut it together just probably did it a little bit wrong.
Because things happen. People, I don't want to spoil it, but people seem to find a place. It's like, okay, there's no context, so you'll see it if you go see it.
Liu Kang was training, and then he's just there. It's like, bang.
Oh yeah, like I said, there's Liu Kang. There's like stuff like that. There's what's his name? There's stuff that, like I said, it doesn't really take away from the movie fully. Like, the movie's still great.
Yeah,
Everything still happens. It's just that sequence there. Like, I was really paying attention. It felt like at least 20 minutes or half an hour was just missing from that, because it's just like, here's a scene, boom, everyone's here. It's just like, okay, how, like, I questioned in my mind going,
really,
how do they find the place? How did the sequence go from being like, oh, we're gonna train, to then someone's just doing something outside and then they train later? Like, and then just everything just kind of in that one sequence feel like something missed. There's something missing. If that just had that, it would be fine. It's just the pacing.
That's exactly like Hellboy though. It's not like he's talking, and then the boss fight is like,
yeah, he's just having a casual conversation. Next to it, he jumps into like, full charge. Like, but you're in an office building, having a conversation, doing something. Next to you're in like this open field in the next scene, running into battle. Like, there's no setup, there's no weapon grabbing. You know what I mean? There's like,
did I fall asleep for a second?
It's like me sitting here going, or like another reference is be like, oh, I'm gonna build a computer. I've got no parts, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, I'm gonna build a computer. Next, boom, I've got all the parts. But it's like, I've been just saying like, oh, I need to buy parts to build this thing, and boom, oh, I magically got all these parts. And I've already half built the thing. It's like, you don't cut to a sequence like that. Like, how does that work? Like, wouldn't you have a montage of like buying the parts and stuff like that? I don't know. Like,
we already know it was a low budget movie though, really.
Like, that's the only gripe. Well, there's another gripe I have with it is, people unlock their abilities in this.
It's pretty much a fan movie, isn't it? Like, made by...
I'd say what it would be like is if you were to have a game, like, say if they had, you know how each game is new each time, and you know how they had the story, but the story's different. It's more made for that game in general. Like, the story, the solo campaign is made for that game. So it's like if this was like a cutscene kind of thing for a game. Like, the characters will play out a certain way. Like, each game's different. Like, you play it, each character's going to win differently to another character dying. Like, It depends on how you play it. That's how the story's written, and that's how the movie feels like. Because when you play the game, not every character's going to technically die because you can play any character.
Like
Any
Mortal Kombat campaign in movie form.
Exactly. Because some characters you see, okay, this character's placed into someone that's going to die easily.
Well, it's better than the old ones because they were a bit.
Well, that's exactly it. Like they had a fight and they do stuff, and I mean, those you kind of didn't know who was going to die. Like they didn't really write it until it happened. But it's kind of like, in a sense, some of the characters were like, these characters were going to die. You knew who was what, and it was just like, okay. So, but at the same time, it's a fun film. Like it's as much as it has flaws, at the same time, it's actually a decent, enjoyable video game adaptation to a movie.
For a Mortal Kombat fan, just for anyone.
That's exactly it. It introduces people. So, like I said, as much as there are cons, I found there are also a lot of pros. And it's definitely a typical, more of a introductory. I guess it's more of a sense of introducing people to the universe. Per se, to like, it's definitely like also like a pilot. It's like, here's my proof of concept. This is what we've done.
Maybe a second
let's put it out
movie
there.
then?
Well, that's what they were saying. If they've already stated, if this goes well, they've already got 4 movies in line. They're already prepared to do. They're already prepared to do 4. That's exactly it. I was like, okay, like they're apparently already prepared to do 4 movies.
If they're jumping like that too quickly.
But I feel like at the same time that might have been the sense because it's like a pilot. Because if you like any kind of pilot episode, things jump too quickly. They're trying to get the essence of everything. Like I remember that with the pilot episode of like The Witcher. Like if you watch that first episode, they made it super awesome. Where he like fights a spider and stuff and does all this cool shit. And then you watch the rest of the series and he's barely doing any of like the things like they make him out. Like he's not going superpower or like White Wolf or whatever it was, and like killing epic monsters and stuff. It's like kind of duller.
If the people are already dead in the first, how are they going to sustain 4 movies?
There's I don't want to spoil stuff, but there are certain forces in play. I don't want to spoil it too much.
I know Shang Tsung's in it because I saw his fatality, the
soul sucker thing.
That looks dope.
That's where it was. Okay, so there's a sense of that where, okay, there are the gods. So you got Raiden and Shang Tsung, they're like the gods.
You've got the elder gods as well.
But that's like the thing.
Shao Kahn in it?
Shao Kahn? No.
The Emperor, yeah. No.
I'm done. I'm
not yet. So.
No Shao Kahn.
They had that. They had. What's his name? Oh, the other dude, some gas dude with a different name.
Smoke.
Ermac.
Moles.
Ermac Sub-Zero, isn't it? Like.
Well, they had Reptile. They had Reptilian, but he was different. He was actually a reptile.
He looks weird.
Goon. They had like a reptile in it and stuff like that. It was actually a man lizard thing, but Kano dealt with that. I don't want to say.
He looks like the best character.
I think I saw the trailer. Yeah.
It was in the trailer. It's kind of in the trailer. He's like, Kano wins.
Kano wins. He's got the fucking heart there.
Yeah.
He killed Reptile, didn't he, for that?
Mm. Yeah. A lot of stuff has leaked. I mean, at the same time, it's hard to say, like, what's a spoiler because the games have kind of covered everything, but at the same time, they haven't. It's just like...
No, but what's been on YouTube now is everyone's dead. Like, they've been showing all the fatalities, everything.
That's exactly it. It's going to happen. There's a lot of leaks. You try to avoid it. Like, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but...
We know Mortal Kombat, people die, so that's fucking given.
It is a different spin on it. Like, for example, because definitely it's
Scorpion and Sub-Zero face off. That's all we need to know.
And it's the lineage as well. So it's kind of like the throwback to like if you've seen the games before, where it's like you've got Scorpion and then like Sub-Zero and it's like Sub-Zero's son and then he took over them and now it's like Scorpion's kind of like history and it's like all this kind of crazy stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised that we either see Sub-Zero come back or Sub-Zero's kids.
I think it really kicks ass. I really do.
It's pretty, like I said, it's great. Like the effects were amazing. Everything was good. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I kind of spoiled things, I guess, here and there, but everyone's been spoiling stuff anyway. But either way, definitely go watch it. Yeah, it's hard because people
know how it's gonna go.
Spoil it, you still want to go see it.
Yeah, it's definitely something to watch. Like, it is enjoyable. Like I'd seen scenes already before the movie had been released. Like that main scene with what's his name? Is it with the hat? What's his name again? I can't remember his name. I forgot his name with that blade. Kung Lao. Kung Lao wins. He even has that. I think he even has that in the sense.
Him straight down.
Yeah, he does that. He does that thing. I think I remember he does that line too. He does the thing. He chucks it. Because what happens? He actually chucks it. It actually gets stuck in the wall, and he does this thing, and then he pulls it out like it comes from the wall. It's after it's been impaled in the wall. He pulls it. That's what it was. Oh, okay. There's a slight scene in that, so it kind of almost made it made a reference to Han Solo shoots Guido. Or you know how Han shot first in Star Wars. So basically, you know how in that sequence where Guido shoots Han and then head snaps to the left or the right, whatever it was, to miss the bullet. There's a sequence in that where Kung Lao throws the hat out.
No.
Fuck the bad guy. What's his name again? I forgot his name. I'm bad with names. Shang Tsung, the soul sucker. He chucks the hat at him, and when he chucks the hat, he does this whole head snap and dodges the hat, and it impales behind him. Like, that's a fucking Guido Han Solo fucking duel right there, because he does the whole head snap, and it just tilts and misses it, and you see it impale. Like, he doesn't just, like, step aside. You see him just stand there, he just goes like that.
Breaks his fucking neck just
yeah, I was like, for fuck's sake. But then that gets stuck, and then, of course, that scene that's been on the line where he cuts that bat chick up. But,
in half.
Yeah, and he's like...
On the ground and just...
He does that, and there's the whole typical move, and then it cuts her in half, and he's like, at the end, he's like, Kung Lao wins, and he rubs his hat with the blood off of it. And he's like, Kung Lao wins. I was like, ah! Like, there's so many sequences, like, they do that.
It reminds me of, Shaolin monks, where you put your
I'm
your
positive,
hat on the ground
I
and just
think
drag him over it.
there was another sequence,
yeah.
too. There's another sequence where someone dies, and they go, fatality.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and there's another reference. There's a lot of references. Another references where they do the training, and someone goes, "We got to." It's like it's something they do on the dialogue. It goes, "Test your might." It's like, for fuck's sake,
way.
they drop like perfectly. They drop references to like the games perfectly. Like, it's done so well. Like, it's done.
Oh, it's not cheesy then. It's just
it's
well
not
done.
super cheesy, but like it's done really well.
Is there the guy that pops up in the bottom corner going whoopsie?
No, there's none of that though.
Oh, damn. Toasty.
But no, it's like when we saw like, cause I was a bit iffy when it first came out. I never watched it till later, but like the Power Rangers reboot, where it was like sci-fi actiony and it was like different, but that was actually decent. It's kind of like that in that general sense where things are just like fun. It's filmed, but like it's covering the content-based media. It's like got the proper references. It's not janky. Like, it's not janky going, oh, this is the names of stuff. Like, they're actually properly doing it. Like, they've got the right abilities. Things are happening correct. Like, they've done the effects. Like, we've seen that trailer where Scorpion's like fighting Sub-Zero, and he does that thing where he does like that punch, and then he pulls the blood out and he freezes it and he stabs him, and then there's like the whole stick freeze wall, and he throws him through it, and then there's the whole get over here, and does like the whole throw. Like,
I just gotta. He doesn't say it right. It's
because of his accent, but. There's a sequence. I don't want to spoil things because it's so amazing. I don't want to keep talking about stuff because they're kind of like amazing when you watch it. I mean, there's much stuff that's been lost in leaked.
It's still dope that he does it.
There's a sequence. Okay, they do make reference to a lot of stuff with Scorpion and that, so you do get to see a bone version slightly of Scorpion
When he's doing the flame. Yeah,
so if you've seen that, okay, so if you've seen that. He breathes fire, and his whole face deteriorates, and it turns to a skull, and then he puts the mask back on, and it grows back to normal. Yeah. It's like that, and then
they do
like,
the whole dragon. No, that's where he came.
Dragon's breath.
Yeah,
he just dragon's breath.
Fucking IGN, bro. They put all the fatalities on.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, everything's been spoiled. Like, I don't want to spoil. Like, it's been ruined by a lot of people. I don't want to be that guy. I kind of being that guy, but
it's not really ruined because we've seen them all.
But it's like it is amazing. Like. If I'm gonna get into it a little bit more, the other gripe I had. If I'm gonna mention it, I'd say if I'm gonna mention the other gripe I had is that it might as well now because we're talking about shit anyway. I'm talking about shit, so it's gonna happen. So there are like the way they get their abilities, like they're more like you got to have the marking, you got to be like at the right time you learn your ability. So like Kano couldn't learn to do the laser or like the laser eye. It's actually ability to learn. It wasn't cybernetic in this.
So
he actually learned it.
Or not?
No, it's actually ability he learned. So he had to get really angry for the power to unlock, and he shoots the laser out of his eye. So it was rage.
He dropped his beer and just rage.
Well, they picked on him, and they used the name against him, trying to bring him down the dirt. It was Liu Kang and what's his name? Kung Lao. They're picking on him. They're trolling him, and they're sitting there going, "Oh, you're such big man. You're such big man, aren't you? You're so strong." Teasing him and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, what do you mean? I'm the Black Dragon." Gets all mad. He's like, "Ah!" Next thing he's like, "Pew!" Laser shoots out and bounces around the room. He like gets super mad. He goes, "Oh my god, I shoot lasers out of my eyes. Fuck yeah, fuck you, fuck you. I'm gonna bomb you." And he's like, it's typical Aussie. Like he just loses his shit. He's like, "Yeah, fuck you guys. Yeah, you thought you were gonna get me like first. Suck on that shit." You know, typical Aussie, like, loses his shit. And then,
cool how...
I did hear Kano stole the show in that movie.
Yeah.
That's another thing, too. I definitely feel
the best character in it.
If Kano wasn't, or if they didn't have that kind of humor from Kano, I don't like the movie would have been good, just not great.
He just adds the cherry to the
He
top.
basically makes
Yeah,
the
yeah.
film. He basically steals the film in this. The character works so well, and it like the comedic lining
His
is
it's
so.
fucking Scorpion's story though, isn't it? Not Kano's. So
It's
that's
Scorpion.
weird.
It follows the young bloke who's like basically Scorpion's lineage. It's like
Yeah.
the great grandson, because like Scorpion was set in the 1600s. Yes, and then this is like of course 2020, but it's just like
Oh, so he's not. So they're
Five,
not Scorpion and
six
Sub-Zero.
gen-
They're like
Yeah, yeah.
descendants.
seventh generations. Well, Sub-Zero is the original Sub-Zero, who's lived forever. Like he's lived for eternity because he went to the Nether.
Yeah, because he's
Off-world.
younger than Scorpion.
He went to the
so I'm like,
off-realm and kept his abilities, while Scorpion had to learn through Hell. His abilities. He went to Hell.
Hence the Hellfire.
And then this is like the lineage of the bloodline, and this
Oh,
one.
I've got a question. Does he do the 5 feet kick?
I know.
That is an iconic move. He just does the whole backflip. with
But
5
the
feet.
cool thing where they start learning at is because the young bloke has some abilities he's learning, and
No,
at
he
one
don't.
point with the young bloke, he's doing this move because he's got this weird suit. He's got like the super suit that like charges up his abilities a little bit, which is a bit weird. And when he takes hits, it powers up his strength, and he can like reburst the energy, like kind of like Black Panther in a sense.
That's not Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it was weird. It's kind of like Black Panther.
He's like a new character, yeah.
But he's like, but then at the sense of when he's fighting and he was doing this move at this fun, it's in the later on the scene. There's a sequence if you don't pay attention, you can miss it. He's doing this thing, and at one point he does this attack. His hand actually lights up on fire, and he does this quick little like fire. He's like, what the hell? And it like burns out, and he tries to like get it, but he can't do it. But like his hand, like he casts like a fireball almost at one point. And he's just like, what?
Kind of like Liu Kang. Just,
Yeah, and he's like surprised
Yeah.
that he could make fire, and he's like, wait a sec, but because he's Scorpion's lineage, he's going to learn actually Hellfire in this sequence. It's all set up for like the later films, so they've got it left
I
open.
don't have
for
to
more
fire
movies.
backflip. I'm sad.
No, because there's a lot into it. Like the fight sequences are great. Like there's so much that goes on. What was it? The so they learn their
I
abilities.
saw. They only did that in 6 weeks. Like they learned how to do
Well,
everything
actually,
in 6
the,
weeks.
the references too, which makes it leave open that. I mean, you've seen all the fight scenes and all the fatalities then, so you would have seen like who dies and stuff like that.
Not all of them.
Well, there's this.
They only showed like 6 or 7 of them.
Which ones have you seen then?
The Hat Blade, the Liu Kang Dragon, the Jack Smash.
Of the head crush.
You're like, these are awesome.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other ones.
There was.
The Shang Tsung one, where he has him up in the air.
Okay, there's a left open point for Kano, because Kano has a
And
fight.
the heart rip.
Kano has a fight with Sonya Blade.
Oh.
They have a fight.
I heard about
And
that.
in the point where they're fighting, she grabs a gnome and stabs it into his laser eye. And apparently from that, because if you take out, so how you get the marking is in this story is if you kill the person with the marking, you inherit that marking. So when he's fighting, when they're fighting, because Sonya ends up stealing his marking, that's how she becomes one of the Mortal Kombat fighters after, because she was never actually a chosen one. So she's fighting Kano, and she impales him in the eye with a gnome, and impales him in the eye, and then she gets the ability. But the funny part is, it's just a gnome to the eye. Realistically, it's not going to do. It may do damage, it may not. Like, it's 50-50. Everyone else got these brutal fatalities, and he just got stabbed in the eye. But it's his laser eye. And if we go to Mortal Kombat, what does he have? A mechanical eye.
Yeah.
So
put
it's
the
kind
mechanical
of.
enough.
Exactly. So they've kind of left it open where, he got stabbed in the eye, or he's dead. No, he's maybe not. And then it's okay, that's the eye that he had the laser. Okay, it's mechanical replacement. And that's where we'll see later on Kano with the mechanical eye. Like, they've worked on things, they've left it open. So they got the sense of like how they got abilities. Like Sonya magically got the thing. She was able to shoot the sonic blades after she had defeated Kano because she got a marking. She apparently learnt straight away. So she's like, oh boom, comes back, saves the day. What another one?
Thanks.
Hey. It's
Like comeback saves the day. Like, damn, son.
no, it's just a reference. It's just like a terminology kind of thing. It's fucking whack. But it's like those, like someone that magically, oh no, they've just unlocked their power. They come save the day. It's a stupid thing.
Well, it makes sense, but it's got to be done right.
That's what I mean. It was a bit cheesy that she's like, because I heard a few people talk about after this movie, just going like the gnome.
Yeah, the gnome.
Like a gnome got her power.
That's basically it. But like a lot of people going, oh, she like took out Kano and then she like somehow managed like somehow unlocked her ability to like
No, but she
shoot
is
her.
a professional fighter to begin with. Like she can kick people's ass like by herself.
But
Yeah.
like they showed
Like,
you
she's
how
ex-military or something. Whatever
like
it was.
it was a bit awkward how they had the scene like Jax had to relearn how to because he had replacement arms, but they were skinny metal arms. They're like dweeby little metal arms. He had like little raptor arms kind of thing.
Like little raptor.
And he's like, oh, I got no strength. And then he's like, he tries to do something, and then I'm gonna have to put a massive. So I feel like I'm gonna have to put a spoiler.
Telling the fucking whole story.
Yeah, you give away the entire thing.
Stop.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out. I'll cut it. I'll cut around it.
But explain also, like you watched the movie. I saw some post, and you're at the premiere.
Yeah, I went to the premiere. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you got to meet the character Melina.
Yeah, CC Stringer. CC Stringer.
Yeah.
I'll cut the podcast down anyway, so we don't get half the spoilers for everyone else. So just follow you two guys.
Spoilers only. I already know what happens.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Mortal Kombat's game. Well, what I was gonna say, I'll cut it out anyway. It's just what got me was how Jack got his arms. That's all. That's the stupid part.
Yeah, I know how he gets his arms because he unlocks his ability when trying to save Sonya. He lifts up a rock, blah blah blah.
And then that's what I mean. Like his arms are magical transforming arms.
Yes.
His arms go from skinny metal, and they go, "Oh, look at this!" And it's like, and the big bulky metal arms appear out of nowhere.
I thought they were just big to begin with.
No, they weren't. They're scrawny
In the
little
games
metal. They're scrawny little metal arms. He unlocks his ability, and apparently metal appears out of nowhere, and that's where he.
Like
that's what's his ability.
They just put arms on him.
That's another part that irked me the most. But I can cut this out for people anyway. So we just talk about it here.
Don't say anymore. I want something to go. Ooh, that's cool.
I know, but like it's hard to explain. You all should just go, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we still don't know the whole story, but still, just.
Well, it's story.
Stop. You've been talking about for 40 minutes nearly about Mortal Kombat.
It's fine if you keep it in. You just put spoiler warnings.
Yeah.
And then just put a time mark of after it. Just go skip to here if you don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
I didn't want to talk so much about it, but you let me go earlier. I was like, are you sure? Like, you want to keep me going? You could have just said stop earlier.
I mean, we could have said. I mean, we kind of did, but...
Well, yeah. There's so many videos on YouTube already showing off the fatalities,
and people are watching
giving away the endings, etc., etc.
You can basically get... There's enough footage out there that you can basically clip the whole movie together if you grab them all, kind of thing.
I've only seen the fatalities, though.
Yeah.
That's the only
even
thing.
though, I've seen all that, I still want to go out and see the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I hate being that person.
Is there a release
What?
date for the DVD version? Or
No
not
idea.
yet?
It's just
No,
it only
no.
just recently hit cinemas.
It's not HBO, which because the Snyder Cut comes out DVD next month.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A month on Max and then release. So this could do the same thing, maybe. Come out in like a couple of months, which would be dope. Watch it in 4K.
Spoiler first time spoiler podcast.
Spoiler cast.
First time happening.
But it was that. The reason why it's been slow lately is because E3 isn't till June.
Yeah, and that's back on.
Everyone's holding their news for that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything's going to be kept for
Don't
that.
smack it.
All right.
You nearly whacked it again.
No, actually, it went across to the side. It will. Sony's not doing E3. Neither's EA. I think Square Enix aren't doing it. Still, a lot of developers aren't doing it.
Yeah, it's was that others will probably just do something at around about the same time. They might.
Well, Nintendo, I think they're in there, but they're doing their own still Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
Doing the both. Which
Isn't
makes
it going
sense.
to be like all online this year?
Yeah.
Well, it's progressively.
It should be online forever now. Just it'll be a lot easier.
It would be a lot easier, but that just ruins
I mean,
opportunity to go to E3.
For us in general,
have the conference, you can have the conventions and stuff like that, but have it online as well, like all of it online.
Well, I mean, in general for us because we're overseas, like it's always online for us anyway. Like it's always online for us. It's always been online for us.
Yeah. Well,
not for everything.
Most
but
things.
it's for a few. When E3 was on, originally it was like people in the industry. Then they
Only
gradually,
journalists and
Yeah, and that's why you only watch it online. And then they gradually opened up the conventions, and actually you could pay to be at E3 and try all the stuff out, just like a big gaming like just any convention. And then COVID happened, and then just stopped, and now it's all online. So
And now it's easier for them. Cost them less to do this way.
yeah, that's true. E3 was technically, losing interest. Everyone else was bailing out on it, and the event itself was just turned into, I think they were planning this year. If it was on, they would have more celebrities, like last time when they had Keanu Reeves there and Vin Diesel and all that
Plug-in
kind of
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, a lot more celebrities, and that was the idea where it was going towards. And it seemed like a lot of conventions were doing that, especially for gaming conventions, where having a big celebrity linked to that game
announce and boost it,
helped. Yeah, exactly, helped announce it, but also
Keanu Reeves was part of Cyberpunk. That's why he was there.
Well, yeah, and also Vin Diesel was there in the new Fast and Furious game.
That horrible mess.
And then you had John Bernthal, who was in,
Johnny
in the
Breakpoint.
What was it? Yeah, he was Breakpoint. So it just opens it up because we are going to have.
Play that now.
I know. I need to play that again.
We are having more celebrities in well-known faces in games, and it's going to be natural.
Well, now we've got again like Vin Diesel appearing in the new Arc.
That's gonna be
dead. Yeah.
It looks weird though. He looks weird.
It makes sense though. It makes sense to have big leads.
Yeah, but he's not just in the game. He's like up there in the fucking dev team now. Like,
yeah,
he's such a part of the story writer in that. Like,
yeah. He probably played. He's probably got his own server, the original Arc. He probably plays it in the game.
He's a big Arc player.
Like he plays D&D as well.
He's a big Arc player.
For a gamer, would you?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he loves playing D&D.
Straight shocks. Yeah, this hammerhead gonna fire this guy. Yeah.
And also was that what's his name? I forgot his the guy that played Deathstroke out of Zack Snyder. I forgot his name. He's a massive D&D. Idris Elba. No. Deathstroke.
I'm having a stroke from that. I don't know who played Deathstroke.
The series or the. Also, we've also had like
Justice League. He was in
Norman
Justice
Reedus like appear in Death Stranding as well.
Not just that, but now in every game we're
like
fucking
at least
zombies.
having actors doing stuff like.
Joe Melangi.
Yeah.
Big Joe. Just call him that.
Joe Mangelino. I'm butchering his last name.
That name's like this long. Like, I don't know.
Manganillo.
Actor's
Joe
history.
Mangalino.
The meme. Actor's history is like this, but the name is this long.
Yeah.
Try to that meme that's
Joe
going around.
Mangalino.
Have you seen that meme going around everywhere lately?
It was Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he is a massive D&D player. He's in True Blood. Yeah, he played the werewolf.
Yeah. So weird.
Big bloke, big bushy beard, or not big bushy beard. He's got a decent beard.
Well, beard now, not then.
He had a beard for a few things.
Not when he was younger. I don't think, was it? When he was in like True Blood and that.
Yeah.
Well, that he showed off.
Yeah. But yeah, he's played Deathstroke, all that, and he's a massive D&D player. Same apparently as Vin Diesel is a massive D&D player. Loves playing D&D. But
playing D&D.
Yeah, playing D&D. Let's play D&D. Beardy Bros.
Oh, that's right. But I was also talking with talking about D&D.
We can do it on Discord.
I was going. We could.
We can get a few people in, have the little fucking screen.
Do you know I'm gonna be cowboy. Cowboy in the city.
I'm gonna be a bard.
I'm gonna be cowboy. Cowboy.
I'll be a bard.
The cowboy on the quest for pud.
I'll be a something.
Cowboy on the grand quest for pud.
Ooh.
I want to go to the saloon.
It'd be a special D&D game where it's just
we
don't go on adventures into dungeons. Our adventure is going from tavern to tavern and try and pick up like different elves to.
We should do that. We need to do that. Who's going to be our dungeon? Who's going to be our?
Who ends up with a minotaur by the end of the night?
Who's going to be our dungeon master? Who's going to be our dungeon master? Who's good at that? Me.
Are you there or are you there?
I figured you're pointing at me because I figured Wookiee was at the bottom for you as well.
I'm at the bottom.
Wookiee's just there.
Yeah. Yeah. Do a special D&D version where it's
Can
like
I show you guys
raiding
something cool?
dungeons, but raiding taverns.
I want to show you guys something cool I got recently. It finally came the other day. I want to show you guys these. It's pretty cool. So this is a long history. You guys remember this stuff.
It's prop time.
So I got these.
Does it vibrate?
No. But this is a bit of history. I was like, holy crap, when I saw these. I want to show you guys, and this is for the podcast. I don't know if anyone remember. This is a slice of history. Like, this is like when we were younger, but fucking...
Ah, nice.
Optimus Primal.
Yeah, Optimus Primal.
Yeah. Are you going to unbox him or leave him in the box?
I don't know. And...
Leave him in, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Megatron.
Nice.
I was like, oh my god.
Step your hand.
Like that's a history. Like, I had to get them because I'm like, is this my childhood? I was like,
are they still available?
I got them from Pop Culture.
Yeah.
Pop Culture. Definitely, they have the whole range. They have the whole range on Pop Culture.
I need all the range.
They have like Arachnid. They've got Cheetah, Rat Trap.
Wait. The ant.
They have the Arachnid. They don't have the ant.
They don't have the ant.
No, they don't have Waspinator. I think it was Waspinator you're thinking of.
No,
Waspinator. The ant.
There was an ant as well.
I do remember.
The reason why I remember the ant is because he used to call Megatron like my queen, and he's like, "Yes, my queen." And he's like,
Well, it was kind of funny because you always had Megatron. It was funny because you always had Megatron. Then you had Waspinator, which was basically Starscream. I can't remember who Arachnid was supposed to be a knockoff of. But then you had Cheetah and like Rat Trap, which were kind of like a split personality of both Bumblebee. Like, if you broke his personality in half, you'd have... Because Cheetah was still kind of like Bumblebee in the sense, like, if you were to go from like the actual Cybertronian and then the Beast Wars style, like, if you just separate them. Like, Optimus Prime and Prime, like, I mean, he never changed. Like, but it's interesting, like, the character had...
Like, the Beast Wars, it's actually in the future, past. Yeah, but then there's some time fancy dances.
Because they end up meeting, like, I remember in the final season, whatever it was, they actually meet Optimus Prime. I do remember, they actually meet actual Optimus Prime, so they... To show you that they're actually not the same, but they're the same, but they're not the same. It's a weird episode, yeah. He's massive. But, like...
Your light's tripping me out, Dad.
Yeah, now the lights.
You keep changing colours.
Yeah, because I got my wall lights changing colours. But yeah, it's like, because they had Ironhide was still Ironhide, which was funny, because he was a rhino in Beast Wars, but then, of course, he was that bigger truck in the movies. But then, they never really kept Bumblebee, which I thought, because they had different, like, the Decepticons was like the, what was it called? The Insecticons or something like that?
Insecticons.
Insecticons? They were like Insecticons?
That sounds nasty.
But it made no sense, because, like, they're the Insecticons, or whatever it was. But then Megatron was the bloody... Dino, lizard, but then they had the what's the other one? It was Reptar, but it was weird because it was a mixture of because you had the Reptar, fucking Rugrats, Reptar.
Oh my god, you're too drunk. You're too drunk. Turn away.
But wasn't that the Raptor guy? Like there was the Raptor, which again Waspinator and the Raptor were, I guess, kind of like in the sense split personalities of Starscream because they were kind of like the same, but then they'd like split them in half because they were kind of the same sense of the character. Which was weird.
Been ages since I've watched it.
That's what I can remember. So basically the two, basically the characters, two right hand, like the one, like the right hand man's, which was like Optimus always had Bumblebee, and Megatron had Starscream. Basically they split
Bumblebee
those.
and Ironhide, pretty much. Like
but Bumblebee was like the main go-to though.
Yeah.
Was even though he wasn't as powerful as anyone else, like he was pretty much
Bumblebee,
his side.
I didn't think he was always go-to. I thought he was always like the character that was just known.
Well, he was always his side man. He was always Optimus' main side man because he'd always like get him to do everything. And Megatron always had Starscream to go do everything.
Because Ironhide's really the muscle. Bumblebee is the
scout. They're both scouts. So Starscream and Bumblebee were the scouts, should I say? And basically they split their personalities in half. And you had Waspinator and the Raptor. I can't say Dinobot. Was it Dinobot? I can't remember the names. I'm butchering it.
You're too drunk, Des.
Yeah, you're too drunk. Turn around.
Too drunk. Okay.
Because you told me about this and you was fine. You're doing it now and you're like...
I can't even remember. I can't even think. But yeah, basically, yeah. Then Cheetah and Rat Trap are like the Bumblebee split personality, so... But yeah, they had all the toys. Back to what I was going to say, they have all the toys basically that you can get up on Pop Culture. So if you do want to get them, Jim, they are a lot more they're like $10 to $15 more than if you were to get them anywhere else. Yeah. But you can't basically get them anywhere else, so you have to go. So you have to get it from Pop Culture, but you can afterpay.
I bet we put a petition to Pop Culture and get Small Soldiers.
Small Soldier toys, maybe.
Oh, they're bringing back.
I remember that movie. Yeah.
Them toys, man. I used to have them. They're so good.
Well, that's actually another thing that went up on Pop Culture the other day.
Sold somewhere.
Pop Culture was the only place you could get Quicksilver from WandaVision.
Gordon Freeman figurine from Half-Life 2.
Oh, so good.
I saw that on eBay.
Like
it was
$300?
Like $400. Yeah.
He's like 300, 350, 400, and it's like, but he's like in that. He's got that suit on and it looks mint, and he's got this little crowbar and everything. Oh, the quality is like high quality. Like you can take the suit off too. I think it was.
Yeah,
I think, or is it the one that's the one where he stays on him? I can't remember, but it still looks dope. He's like this, like a statue, and you can pose him.
Still a lot. I saw it.
Or the actual statue one
at one of the conventions, and they were selling it for like $80, and I went, "Oh, that was a steal," but I didn't go back to it. Yeah, and I was gonna go back and buy it, and I just didn't see it again at any other convention. And I was like, I should have bought it.
And they had it on clearance, yeah.
Yeah.
So a damn steal, bro.
But
like on Amazon, yeah, it's like $400.
But no, was it the if you've the WandaVision? So if you've ever watched or if you follow the news, I know Jim really hasn't. But they had Quicksilver in that. There's a Pietro Maximoff. So they had a pop that was basically a kind of an exclusive. So you could only get it through Pop Culture here in Australia, and that basically sold out in the first 4 minutes. It just sold out like that. But apparently they're doing a second wave of it.
Like
they did a second wave.
Console.
Yeah, it sold out in 4 minutes, and of course it went straight up online, and it goes anywhere between $65 US to $130 US.
That's not bad.
Oh.
And it was like a $25 pop.
Oh.
Yes, that's the problem. Scalpers got onto that. Like I said, in the first 4 minutes sold out, and they put it already up online to resell
People
it.
People are gonna stop feeding the scalpers.
Like, and that's what I mean. And the rest of the series of the WandaVision pops were still there to buy normally.
If people are buying them, they're freaking stupid because. The more you buy, the more they're
Well, I found that already happened because I went back to the one of those CEX stores, just looking and stuff, and the 2 PlayStations they had disappeared.
Yeah, people
they were asking $1,200 for them. They were asking $1,200 for them.
I mean, if the PlayStation was at $800 to $900, that would have been nice. Or fine.
I could understand, but $1,200.
Fuck me.
That's nearly double
the
price. You can
get that in a couple of games, like Jesus. Well, 3 games even.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably even 4 for $300 or $400.
Like I've seen some of them there at the CXs having their PS4s for like $200.
Like that Series X, was reasonable. What, $800-900?
That was still sitting there.
Yeah, because that's reasonable. And they don't want the Series X
because it's the PS5. Everyone's nostalgia for the PS5.
Yeah.
Hype.
Yeah.
What do we got? What else have we got here?
Everyone's got a PC, but after a PlayStation, that's all they want now.
What else we got? We'll go through next.
Look, I haven't turned that on in a month. I've not touched it. It's got Rocket League on it. That's it. That's all it's got.
But was that there was Supernova on last weekend? I didn't attend that because I went to a wedding. Had a wedding on that weekend, so priorities. And what else? There was you went to the premiere of.
I did the
Mortal
premiere.
Kombat.
Had a laugh. I had a laugh with CC in those photos. You can tell it got weird. I was like, okay. She just said something, and she started laughing. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Apparently, she's a Brisbaneite.
Yeah, she lives in she lives in that Chermside area.
Yeah.
Parking. Oh my god, parking is fucking expensive there. Got there at like 4 o'clock or whatever it was. The movie. So we were there for like 5 hours. It was like $14 for 5 hours.
Could be worse.
So basically, the first 2 hours are free. So basically, for the 3 hours parking, it cost $14. I was like, fuck this.
Especially if 2 hours are free, just charge for the whole fucking lot for 14. Jesus.
Yeah.
Just tell someone to hop in the car real quick, drive it out, and drive back in.
Yeah.
Or just having to drop you off there. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, but I had to drive out there, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
crazy.
But
that was cool. I thought it was big. I thought that was actually decent to actually have an event like that because we haven't had things for so long with COVID and stuff. And I was amazed actually they had an event like that and actually had someone be there from the event.
Because Queensland hasn't really had any cases.
Well,
so
I found out finding out.
Our last lockdown, that was 3 days.
Was it?
Yeah, but nothing since.
What night was that? That was
5 days,
Wednesday
wasn't
night.
it?
Wednesday
Was it
night.
5 days?
Yeah, it was a Wednesday night.
So yeah, I was gonna say basically that what ended up being the sounds of it like looked like a lot of cinemas had launches like premiere nights Wednesday night because I had a few other friends that apparently saw it the Wednesday night as well. But still, nothing beats going to a premiere launch with an actual celebrity from the
Did
movie.
anyone wear
Yeah,
masks?
No, no masks.
It's not mandatory. It's only recommended in certain.
Got free popcorn and water though.
Oh, nice.
Free
nice.
water.
Yeah, I took a couple of bottles.
Did you get a little merch bag?
No,
Merch
they
bag?
didn't
water.
have anything. They didn't have anything
Free.
like that.
Oh, bugger. Not even a free t-shirt or something?
No.
No. Oh.
But was it? Who do I see? Who we bump into? That. I think it's the chick you know that worked at the comic book store.
Oh, Maddie.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, from she works for Supernova.
I found out that she is Neb's next door neighbor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Eve-
Small world.
you can say as well.
yeah.
Your neighbour followed you on Twitch.
Oh yeah, my actual neighbor. My actual neighbor. Apparently, one of the people that live next door. They followed me on Twitch. They follow Jim. They follow you as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah, but yeah, because I
What?
talked to my son because they had a birthday party the other day, and we took Jack over there. I was like, because oh, you come over, it's fine. And then I was wearing my Pickle Tube TV shirt. Unironically, I just grabbed a shirt, happened to be that, and they go like, oh, I saw this dude had a Pickle Tube TV shirt on, and I was like, oh, I'll follow him. And I'm like, wait, that's me. Like they saw me wearing my shirt, and they followed me from my shirt.
Yeah, because we thought it was someone else.
yeah.
But it's like, they're talking to Jack. I was like,
Wait a
"Dal,
second.
they know Jack."
I was like, wait, that's my son.
Like, yeah, next door neighbour. It's like,
Yeah.
Small world.
But yeah, it's crazy when everything starts pinning together. Like that, people I met before, but it's kind of funny that they end up
he
being
does got
neighbors.
a fan right next door.
Yeah.
Don't know who it is, but
No, I don't know which one it was. I don't know idea, but
Maybe, that's why it made me think that I should probably start streaming again.
that's why you need a Beardy
But,
Bros merch on and go outside.
before we go any further, I'll quickly plug a few extra things that's been going around.
Not the COVID. No,
So Sony is working on. No, we're gonna go through this. So Sony is working on a new PlayStation Cloud gaming experience. We've already seen Xbox try and do that.
Thing that I saw?
I have no idea. You might be thinking of April Fool's joke.
No, this was like yesterday or something.
So they're looking at cloud gaming, like everyone's looking at that nowadays. But we already know how it goes in Australia. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
It doesn't work at all. Everywhere else, maybe it works, but
Only in the US. That's the only place I can do
that's
it.
exactly it.
Yeah, because
Anyone
I
has
got a
good
decent internet structure and fast enough internet. It's
Like, not even England, not even like anywhere else. It's just there.
Hmm.
But the US.
It's one of those
think
things
it's
where
Nathan.
I think it's like, oh, it works so well here, not thinking that. Or I mean, being arrogant enough probably and thinking that the rest of the world is just like them.
Right?
It's like,
our
no,
internet's not
have
bad.
you been to another country and seen how fast their internet is? Please,
Like,
just
ours is probably
just think
under
about
theirs,
it.
the second or third spot. Everyone else is bad. Like, you go to England and that, like, theirs is trash.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
20, it's like 10 down or something, I get told.
Hmm.
How are you going to stream, like, a game?
exactly.
it's not going to load in quick enough.
Real,
No.
Well, unless you're thinking of Elon Musk's internet, like because he's
Oh,
doing the oh god, I can't remember.
Satellite thing.
Yeah, the satellite internet, which is apparently internet speed's going to be massively like just 1,000 times better than what Australia's got at the moment, which is fantastic. But that's long down the track, and if they didn't cloud when that's happening and that's working,
That makes sense.
that's fine. That makes sense. But at the moment, no, that's like, it's expecting to get electricity from a little mouse on a wheel. It's connected to an electrode. It's
Yeah.
just not going to work. It's
Right?
yeah. They tried it. Forget about it. Just give it another 20 years when we've got decent internet.
I would say, I'll probably say 5 when the 5G's out, really.
Yeah.
But even then, you're going to pay an arm and a leg just to get decent internet in Australia
Yeah,
as
like,
well.
our internet prices here are very expensive compared
Oh,
to
hell
everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
For very low performance.
Yeah, it's...
Our net is mostly down in a fuck Australia.
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
there's an issue. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But what was your next one, Dale?
The big one, which was just after the last week's podcast, we missed it, was Amazon cancels Lord of the Rings MMO in latest blow of gaming division. So that was with Tencent had bought. So whoever Amazon was partnered with, Tencent had bought out that company. That Amazon was partnered with. So then Amazon then had to deal with Tencent. They couldn't come to an agreement, so Amazon were like, basically, fuck this shit, we're not going to do that then. This is too much hassle, you clearly don't want to come to an agreement, fuck you guys, we're done with it, we're not even going to bother. So, which, I mean, makes sense, sometimes you just be like, no, fuck you guys, fuck it, we're not going to do it. If you're going to be like that, then fuck you. So, that's basically what it came around to that. So, it's sad that that's had to happen, but...
Yeah, it is.
Tencent seems to be buying up a lot of things lately and getting their hands into a lot of things, but they're not doing the right way. They're kind of fucking a lot of things up, monopolizing stuff.
Yeah, Microsoft. Leave Discord alone, bro.
Well, I think that's fell through at the moment. From what I think, actually, I think I heard that's fell through at the moment.
Tencent owns a
Discord
lot
saved
of companies.
Because for Xbox, trying to get that was to try and then get them to incorporate.
Like in the Asia market, they're massive.
Massive.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, just like looking right now, I just checked it up. The list of companies Tencent is invested in is from Riot Games.
Epic's one of them.
Yeah, Epic's one, Riot Games. You've got Funcom, Norway. You've got like
Funcom.
Gears. Funcom.
Ooh.
Oh, that's Funcom.
Funcom. You've got like
that's
Grinding Gears Games from New Zealand. You've got Activision Blizzard, they got 5% of that company.
I can't feel my elbows.
5%. Ubisoft, they own 5%. Paradox Interactive, they own 5%. Ubisoft, yeah, they own 5%. 5% of Ubisoft.
Wow.
That's what I was say with that remark. That's what they've been doing is they buy small shares, and every now and then, if they get a chance, they buy more shares. It gets to the point where they own enough shares that they end up consuming like a virus. Yeah, they're getting a bit fucking. You gotta watch out for them.
That's why.
They're in Discord.
Yeah,
they have shares in
even
Discord.
own a bit of Roblox.
Roblox, not surprised.
Yeah, Roblox. Platinum Games, Bohemia Interactive, which is creators of Arma 3.
Yeah, Russian or something.
So they're based in Chechen Republic. So they own a fair amount. That's
crazy.
Like
they got their hand in everything.
They actually bought a fair bit of Bohemian. Actually, they bought them out, didn't they? Recently, they actually got. We mentioned it before in one of the other episodes of the podcast. Yeah. Well, they actually got a fair chunk of that because of that reason, where they had earned so much money from like DayZ. Like they bought DayZ or whatever it was, or no, it was PUBG. And they had stuff from PUBG. Owned that, bought the rights to that, then earned enough money to be able to cycle back and buy the company that basically made PUBG because it was through the Armor mods. So they basically did a full circle going, we'll use the subcode to come back to buy the bigger company, that's basically the father company, or the mother company, whatever you want to refer to, and bought them out. Because it's like...
all the actually labels?
Huh? Oh,
I'm just thinking,
I've been turning it around.
I don't know. I mean,
folks, if you want to...
I don't know. No one's saying anything. We haven't had anyone say anything before, so I mean, if anyone wants to sponsor us,
just have it there.
Sponsor a lot of alcoholic companies. Sponsor.
I mean, Bugs is the only beer I drink, so come on, Bugs.
I have Summersby. We're just mentioning the names. Summersby, Hollandia, Ark Valley.
Dave's just on Cloud9 having all these weird names.
Yeah,
he's just making these up.
I live in the valleys, man. Hollandia. The land is Hollandia. You got Ark Valley within Hollandia, and then when you're chilling, you go down to the suburb of Summonsby.
Summonsby? What are you summoning? Have more beer?
Oh, God.
Summonsby gonna summon them dubs, bro.
Oh.
Summersby. Oh. So, what else has been happening this week? Not really that much.
Not much.
So it's Mortal Kombat being released. And
the Shang Chi trailer dropped. I was gonna say if we do a react to that, but we didn't do it.
That's right. Yep.
I haven't seen
and people have already been woke from that already. People have already gotten woke. Because it was like 8 years ago. So basically, the actor who plays Shang Chi was like 23 or something like that. He made tweets back in this is like 8 years ago. He made tweets about Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj
So
fans
it's
brought it
another
back up.
Henry Cavill thing.
Oh, and they're like, oh, he said these things because basically he said back then he goes Nicki Minaj's music is like taking it like is like trash music or something like that. Like it's just
It is.
Yeah, he's just saying what anyone else says. No, exactly. And then all the apparently Nicki Minaj fans swooted to him, and he's like, oh, and they end up deleting the old tweet. But it's just like just because people.
Who cares?
But like it's 8 years ago, and it's just him having an opinion of music. It means shit. Not everyone's gonna like music. They're gonna have an opinion about it. Doesn't mean you have to assault them for it.
No,
Because-
like
Yeah, you don't get to hate people about what they like. I like Nicki Minaj. I mean, yeah, totally just stuff.
yeah, if you like him, who cares? Like,
Yeah, who cares? Exactly.
Exactly, that's like just because
I don't like.
Like there's things out there that I hate, or there's other things that people may hate that I like. Just because they hate it, I'm not going to have their opinion against going, oh, I'm going to hate this person now because they like something. Like, oh, that's their choice. Like, there's things that I hate and wish didn't exist.
what you like
But,
doesn't make
I
you a
mean-
bad person.
No. But, like, not everyone's going to like everything. Like, there's people that are going to hate things with a passion, not like it. It's just, they don't prefer it. Like,
Like, I hated Fortnite. No, I play it a lot.
hmm.
Daz, thank you.
Hey, you want to play it?
No, I didn't hate it. But, like, if you hate someone for hating Nicki Minaj,
Yeah.
why-
Yeah. I used to hate country music. Now I like country music.
that's just all certain ones. You don't like everything. Country.
No, yeah, not everything. Let's just be, let's. I
Like, I
don't
like
want to
metal.
broaden the whole thing there. I like a bit of country music.
But then, related to that being Marvel related,
I played Achy Breaky Heart the other night on Rocksmith.
yeah, man.
Actually, I've been listening to this comedy. Was that singer? That's country, and it's named Wheeler Walker Jr. If you're familiar with him, his music is very,
Oh, that feels nice.
very comical. I'll post
Oh.
something in the Discord.
In
My
the
feet-
year.
My feet are a little numb. This basic towel feels so soft against my feet.
I thought you were about to say because it's coming in the winter.
No, maybe that. But my feet feel
It's
numb
that
and
too.
tingly. My feet are like, ooh.
Oh, you're too drunk, Dale. Go back home.
I am home. This one's nearly finished. I'm going to have to get another drink.
Don't get lost, Tony.
Foresight is down. Speaking
I'll
of,
listen to
but
more if you.
I was gonna say
out.
Marvel. I'll go to Marvel first. So being on Marvel, so there's more traction on the Secret Invasion happening. So they've just listed actress Emilia Clarke from
Oh, okay.
Game of Thrones has now joined the cast. So
That's nice.
I think
So-
I saw that.
yeah, so that's been this week as well. So we're getting more traction on the Secret Invasion, which is going to be a fucking lit movie. It's going to be because that story in the comics is just a big chunk. It's a big
Yeah,
chunk.
yeah, it's very impactful.
So and now
Falcon
we've
and Winter Soldier. Oh yeah, sorry.
yeah, that's so I was gonna say. Well, that's what the reference to is like we've got Secret Invasion. We've now had the wrap up of Falcon the Winter Soldier, like you're gonna say. Shang Chi, which is now bringing back the fold to like the 10 rings as well. Like that's now getting the big part back because we hadn't had 10 rings for a while. We had like was it Iron Man 3 that had the Mandarin kind of had the
Yeah,
Mandarin in it.
and
It's
there
like
was
that gag
the
joke and the one
And
shot
there
that
was
went with that.
the one shot as well for it, where
But now
the Mandarin guy was in prison and he gets like tried,
Ben Kingsley's
assassinated.
character.
Or
I'm an
something,
actor.
Yeah, actor, and then an
They wanted to
actual
take him
member
out.
of the 10 Rings comes in and assaults him and takes him captured.
Well, they wanted to
Yeah.
get him out of there, escape him, whatever, because they want to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we
so
see,
meet the real
yeah.
Mandarin.
But then in the
Was that
trailer,
Ben Kingsley character?
yeah. He was the Mandarin because he was an actor. And then, but then they had what's his name, Guy Pearce's character, and he was all like, "I'm the Mandarin." It's just like no one's the Mandarin in this. Like, stop being fake. Like he's like
Yeah.
playing like I'm the leader of the 10. It's like no. But then we see the Shang-Chi trailer, and basically we saw the Mandarin in that. We actually saw
that
him
the-
sitting at the throne. So he didn't have the long beard. He didn't have the long beard like he did. But you see him sitting at the throne. That's the Mandarin.
Well, it's
The long
the
hair.
Mandarin. The thing they're doing is they're combining two characters
Mm.
because the father of Shang-Chi was
Yeah.
actually called Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu, something like that. Yeah.
But so they've got the 10 rings, so they've molded the Mandarin and Fu Manchu into one character.
I haven't seen the
And-
trailer.
You haven't seen? Ah, no.
What? You haven't seen the trailer?
Watch the
Shang-Chi?
trailer.
I haven't seen the Shang-Chi trailer.
We'll have
yet.
to. Can we do a react to that, Jim? Can we please?
What after this?
Whenever. It doesn't have to be today.
Because I haven't seen it.
We
Oh,
get-
I've got it. I'm waiting to do a video on it, but we can do the reactions. I mean,
Yeah, we do a reaction.
yeah.
We do a reaction to it because we've done Suicide Squad. We'd already seen a bit of that before, and then we reacted to it. But we'll do a reaction to the Shang-Chi. I know I've already seen it, but I'm happy to watch it again. They've got that what's the name in it? That chick that was in Jumanji 2. What's her name again? That Asian. I can't remember her name.
I don't know.
She's like a comedian. I don't know. It's weird. But she's in that. She's just loud and obnoxious. I feel sometimes. I'm like, I'm not a big fan.
Look, he just went dark. So dark.
What?
He went so dark.
He's like, what? And he turns his head back and lights back up again. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on with that. So Shang-Chi, I reckon, is going to be a big impact for the next Phase 4. People going on, oh, so I was like, this is going to actually have a big key part. That's why they're doing it. Like, this is a key part. Like, especially the 10 rings, it's going to lead up to something.
Yeah, in the trailer, it looks really interesting because there's a scene where you see, like, you think you see dragons as well.
Oh, the big beasts! It felt like almost like we'll go, like, the history of, like, you see him running along the field, massive big monsters and stuff.
Yeah,
and
those monsters, like, you ever seen those concrete lion kind of
like they come alive.
They're at, like, a lot of temples. That you see. Yeah, that's them. That's those
actual creatures.
They're running in this.
Oh, it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be a very good movie. Jim's lost his something. But yeah, so that's going to be pretty good.
Ow.
What else do I have? The only other thing was Jeff Kaplan leaves Blizzard Entertainment ahead of Overwatch 2. But I mean, Blizzard, we've said that before the podcast. There's been a lot of stuff going on with Blizzard. They really are being kind of stupid with what's been happening, and I guess that's why people are leaving, because they know what's going on. They're the ones that are behind the scene. There's a lot of shit going on. And
he was the director for Overwatch. That's a bad sign.
Well, that's exactly it. He's had input with whatever's going, and he's just gone. I've been like, I'm done with this. Like, this is just not working out. He's trying to have his input. He can't do it. He's like, I'm done. I need to go somewhere else.
Kind of got BioWare about it, doesn't it?
Because they announced Overwatch 2 like ages ago.
Yeah.
And it's been like
18 or 19.
Yeah, like 2 years ago or something like that.
It's going to come out this year or next year, but I don't think it will.
It's taking long. And then the fact that they basically, because of the whole Diablo thing, they brought in Vicarious Visions and absolved them. And then, like, why take up other companies? And they basically said that they got them because they were struggling.
Maybe they're getting them to, like, be the new Blizzard. Like,
basically, that's what it sounds like it's going. Because why absolve a company? Well, that's what they did. They absolved the company, took the leader, like the president, that chick that runs Vicarious, made her the president of, like, the Diablo project. Like, fuck, like, what's going to happen? So,
which means, because the Vicarious people are good, like, they're good management. Yeah,
and they absolved them into it. So,
you seen the stuff they've been pumping out year after year? Like, it's been good quality, it's been always on time, not delayed. And now, Blizzard's like, oh, we'll take them, bring them into the fold, and then kick our old guys out. Like, because I reckon Jeff really just left. I reckon he probably got fired.
Oh, no, being who he was, I don't think he would have been fired. There's no reason to why he would be fired. But, like,
why would he go? Like, it must be a hostile environment.
Oh, there's a lot of those industries that are hostile environments, but when you're that high up, and if you're meant to be the director, and you're supposed to direct things, and no one's following your directions, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like, if you're supposed to be one that's controlling everything, and you give these people these things to do and do everything, and they're not following what you're doing, there's only one thing you left to do, is like, no, I'll go work with another company.
Was the game going smoothly?
Oh, I don't think... Well, you think of Overwatch's history and how janky it's been for a while. Like, making a second game to that, like...
I don't reckon it would be out.
There's too much going on.
Not now.
Not with whatever's been happening with Blizzard. This, like, look how, like, Activision's been lately.
With E3, who knows? They might announce something.
Yeah, cancellation.
They don't announce cancellations, it just happens.
It's like Halo Infinite. We've heard nothing since. Like, is that coming out end of the year?
Well, they've been promoting a little bit of things here and there.
Going to come out in November. That's not far off. That's what? That's
6
May,
months.
June. 6 months and nothing still. Not even a trailer, like not even anything.
I know.
Not even an update.
I got other stuff, but I'm not too.
Oh, there was a thing. Some Bungie devs and that are making a PS exclusive now. It's a new team. Firemakers.
Fire team?
No, it's Firemakers. It's a dev group inside a dev group. They're making a PS exclusive. It's from COD devs, Halo devs, Bungie devs.
Basically, because you got to think about it, because they did Destiny, and then of course they when they work with Activision, they had to work with both
these
platforms.
are the old
No, that's what I'm saying though. Well, that's exactly it though, because
Halo guys.
Bungie did the Bungie stuff, and then when they did Destiny, that old team went to Destiny, worked with Activision, so therefore they would have been working with both PlayStation and Xbox. So then, while working with Activision, they would have met COD people, and then they've gone, and then the whole thing with 343 happening, and then they've gone back to 343 in Destiny, and they still took it with it, and did stuff, and absorbed.
Yeah, but now they're doing
a gone again.
exclusive, which is an online shooter, like a multiplayer shooter.
I'm not surprised.
Shows like Halo, Destiny, it's gonna be fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Well, that's what you can do. You're just going to keep growing and doing different things because you've got Bungie, the main company. 343 is off from that, and then you've got this other team which is basically off of that as well.
I'll try and put something on the Twitter about it because it's fucking long. Like, they've got like 6 development teams in there.
Oh,
all
it's going to happen.
first-person shooters.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's gonna be a good game, hopefully.
Oh, I reckon it will be.
Firemark, I think they're called. I don't know. Firemark Studios.
It'll be something. It'll be kind of Bungie related. It'll be something in their vein of Bungie related stuff because they always seem to.
And ex-COD devs.
They always make that joke. So they're like 343 being part of like Halo, and then other things they've named has always been reference to basically games they've done or things they've had. It's just a joke that they have running.
Firemark.
I don't really need to go into that. The other big thing I say for Fortnite, they had just released the first issue of 0 Point for the Batman cross Fortnite crossover. So that's already dropped out now. So that the first issue is out, and it's I've seen a few, like watched a video earlier today. They covered the issue, and it's actually kind of interesting how the story goes. So basically, a rift opens up over Gotham City, and Commissioner Gordon and Batman's like, oh, what's going on here? And they look to the crack, and there's Harley Quinn standing at the crack, and apparently some people had gone through the rift, which may be referenced back to the Joker and Poison Ivy already appearing in the game. Maybe reference to that. Maybe reference to a few other, like Aquaman maybe being in the game. I feel like it's maybe more reference to the Joker and Poison Ivy already being in the game because they just appeared as DLC out of nowhere, which made no sense. Like, okay, we've had DC characters, we've had Batman, we've had Catwoman and Harley Quinn, but like, that's like the movie versions. But like the fact that we had just randomly like animated characters that of Poison Ivy and the Joker out of nowhere in a pack that ended up having Midas in the pack, which was actually a Fortnite character, which made a bit no sense. So. Kind of thinking a lot of people are speculating that it's a throwback reference to that, like they'd done that early on to set up for the comic book, like they'd done stuff to set up in advance, and definitely the events that they go through the comic book is definitely earlier on events with Fortnite as well because the map was shaped differently. It was in a different time because everything was looked different, placed different, so it was very stapled in early on events. So we're hearing about this, kind of like we're hearing about the story now, but it took place earlier on. So once I guess the story pieces together, we'll learn when the events actually took place, which would be interesting as well. But again, Batman lands into the Fortnite world, and he loses memory like Thor did when he first dropped into the world, and all the other Marvel characters. They had their abilities, they kind of knew what they were doing, but they didn't kind of remember who they were. So Batman was kind of, again, he's like, who am I? Wait, he's like, what? Who am I? But he still was like the sense of Batman's like, okay, this is that. I know how to fight still. He still had his combat skills. Like, he was still Batman. It's just he didn't know who his identity is. So it's interesting how this, like, being there makes people kind of forget.
It justifies it's all right for Batman to use guns.
Yeah, in the sense, I guess, because it's like a weird in the sense because he's like, because they had this weird panel where at the end of the comic. For the first issue is like he meets up with Catwoman and they're fighting off other characters, which are the characters from Fortnite, and they're getting this brawl, and basically they take everyone out. They like eliminate them. They take everyone out, and they're the last two surviving in the storm. And they kind of like confide each other. And the storm consumes them, but as we know of, the storm eats them, and then they get spit out again because in the scene in his armor he's got I can't remember what it was on the one side, but it says each cycle is 22 minutes because it's like a loop. So each cycle as we play is a loop, so when the storm comes in, that's resetting time. So basically Fortnite is Groundhog Day. That's what it's basically coming to, is Fortnite's Groundhog Day. The zone comes in, shrinks, it's cold, and they're learning that's controlled by an outside source. The zone closes, and then resets time. So every time you re-drop into the game, that's time resetting, and it keeps happening like this. It's basically like a fracture or something, like a time loop. So that's what's happening with the zone, is we're starting to learn more now that it's not just a zone like everyone has in every of those Battle Royale games where it's like a smoke cloud coming in to kill everyone, or like, you know, the zone gets smaller and smaller, you know, you got to try and fight and last man wins. It's more to it than just that. It's just happens to be that everyone's fighting each other till the last man standing, but there's more to it that it doesn't have to be that way, I guess, because at the end it's both both Batman and Catwoman at the end. They both were the winners, even though it was a solos kind of match thing. And it eats them, and then like boom, it resets time again. So he's doing like the memento thing where he's like writing stuff down on his suit, like carving in, this is what happened, this is what's happening. Like you got to try and figure out what is going on. So this is going to be the big twist for this season as well, figuring, because the big season for this is trying to figure out what's happening with the loop, and definitely that's what I think Batman's in to help, is to try and solve the mystery of the loop, who's causing the loop and what's going on. So who knows what's going to happen with the future of Fortnite in general too, if we figure out who's controlling the loop, who's doing the loop. Like if they figure out who's doing the loop, do we end up, is it going to get to the point that they're going to stop the person? Like that's what I think with Fortnite. If we're going for Fortnite, do they stop? Are they going to eventually stop the person who created the zone? Like, are they going to figure out who solved it and try and revert the zone, like the loop, from happening? If they solve the loop, what ends up happening to Fortnite? Does that end then because they've solved the loop? Like, is someone going to take the mantle? Like, it's weird. So
I would say no. They'll do a twist at the end saying, "I'm not the only one doing this."
Yeah,
and then there'll be a new Fortnite.
That's
map.
exactly it. So it's interesting. Like, they're getting really now into the story, because they've actually had now with this season alone actual more story-based missions where you've got to see a character, not just
out beforehand.
Hey,
if only Treyarch and that thought
did start doing stuff. Yeah, well, that's exactly because Fortnite's actually getting involved.
They had their own thing, but then that ended.
People copy someone and creates a little bit of that. But no, it's interesting because now it's not just like when you had missions before, it's like, oh, go kill so many players or go do this. Like, you've actually got specific characters now. You go to speak to one character and she's like, oh, you need to go to this location, scan these crystals for me, come back with the data. Or you need to go defeat these guardians over here, collect a certain item from them, come back to me so I can assess it for you. And you actually got to like go from here to there, and you do it, and actually there's like a bit of story going, okay, we figured this out, and then you find audio clips and you're finding different parchments, and then the character's telling you a story piece that they're learning things that are happening now. Like you're starting to get more of a story, and now that we've got the comic book as well happening as well, there's a lot more going on with the story, which is pretty crazy. So
I just found out who's in that development team and the name of it.
Yep, what is it?
Firewalk Studios.
Firewalk Studios.
And it's got developers from Destiny, Apex, Bioshock, Mass Effect, Halo.
God, that's a lot of different developers.
Yeah.
Because that's EA with Mass Effect and Apex.
And also Destiny.
Activision. And Destiny was already a mixture of Activision and bloody...
Yeah,
but
like,
mainly Destiny was Bungie team.
All.
And then you've got like Activision team, but then there was Bungie team.
It's going to be a good fucking shooter. The thing here is like, it's a publishing partnership with Sony, a new original multiplayer IP.
Multiplayer?
Oof. Yeah, it's like a battle royale game kind of thing, maybe.
Just
an online shooter. But coming from...
I wouldn't be surprised it'd be mostly a battle royale, because battle royale is the way to go with shooters these days.
I don't reckon Sony will have a battle royale. Like, it'd probably just be a team-based shooter.
Yeah, well, it's interesting how we're going with games.
Because Sony's publishing, so I mean... They have some input into what. Not much, but
I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to have their own battle royale. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to do that.
Like, as long as it's got progression, as long as you feel like you're getting somewhere. Don't add a battle pass for the sake of it.
It would be cool to see if we have like a new battle royale game where we have squads of like 5 or 6 players. Like
a first-person Fortnite.
Ooh.
Like,
that's another thing that happened. That's another thing that happened. They took out first-person mode from PUBG. I heard.
What? Come on.
They removed. Apparently they actually removed first-person. There's only third-person now.
What?
Yeah, it's another thing I heard.
I used to play PUBG only in first-person.
That's another thing I heard from someone that played PUBG recently. They played it was like last week or something. I heard this. They said they've actually removed first person now from PUBG. It's all third person.
You're supposed to aim down sights. Seriously.
It's weird.
You still can.
But you know what I mean, like as in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how
you
hold it, you tap it.
So I don't know if that will last. I don't know what the go is with that, but that's what I heard.
Well, I'm like, PUBG never had it to start off with. It was only added.
Yeah. Exactly. There's no point taking something out that people
were using because they had.
Yeah, were using.
Were they though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's why this person was disappointed because they played first person.
Taken out if a lot of people were using it though.
I think they just conform with that third person.
I know a lot of people still play PUBG. PUBG is still a good game.
Oh fuck yeah! Yeah. I want to get it for PC, but it costs too much.
What? The game?
$30. I know.
30. Oh my god! Actually, talking about free games on Epic right now, they've got Alien Isolation for free. and also Hand of Fate 2 for free. Both games are worth $45.
Yeah.
And also, Alien is a
Well,
fantastic
I still
game.
need to get like Squad at some point.
Squad's on
Squad,
sale,
yeah.
$29, I think.
Hey?
Squad's
What?
on sale.
Yeah, I'm
No.
probably going to play some Siege after this.
I need to
What
get
about-
Siege.
Siege.
I have Fortnite with this, bro.
Oh, I need
Fortnite.
it.
No,
Fortnite?
I don't have
No,
Fortnite installed.
I don't build and I'm cracked.
I need to get good.
They brought in Golden Gun mode in Siege this week.
Oh, what?
So I want to give that a crack.
I need to get Siege.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have seen Siege cheap before on PC for like $12 and stuff, but I
But
just
it's
have.
so sweaty. Like, it gets to be so serious.
Oh no! I played some COD yesterday. That's sweaty. So many sweaty players and hackers. You
No,
just-
but Siege is sweaty though. Like, you.
oh, Siege is sweaty, but still like it's fun sweaty.
You can still chill with your mates on Siege, I guess.
Yeah,
And I mean, if you play ranked, you're gonna get shit on.
yeah, 100%. But they at least they constantly do ban waves,
Yeah.
and that's good that they do the ban waves.
But yeah,
It's
definitely
just
been
they
thinking of
don't
playing
know.
Siege again. So would you recommend I should get Siege on PC?
It's
Yeah, I
like
recommend.
$12 or something like.
It's like $12, but you get basic operator. You just got to keep playing the unlock.
No, I think you get the operators with it for like $12 on sale.
Deluxe on like the year
It
ones.
just depends on what one
year
you
twos.
get. Yeah, year 1 or 2.
I gotta look into it
I
because I'm kind of thinking of playing Siege again. But if I
I
know
want to
most people
try
play
and
on
get
PC,
both packs because some operators are good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a Switch
just
main,
keep working. I got the basic pack and unlocked like 2/3 of the characters in both.
because they're a lot cheaper now too. Like even with the
Yeah.
in-game currency you earn, I know the characters are cheap now.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
You unlock them
yeah.
pretty damn quick.
Because I know they dropped down. That's where they started going, and I'd already I remember seeing that because I'd already bought them like over time, and it's like, oh, if I play the game now, they're so cheap now to get. So
Yeah.
Siege has always been a solid game.
Not originally.
Yeah, no.
Remember when it launched? You couldn't get a game. It was broken.
Yeah. But I've been also playing Project Zomboid. That's been pretty good game because they got build 41.
Dave told me about that, I think.
Yeah, it is a good game. It's like if you want to live out your zombie apocalypse days, fantasies. It's got so many mods. You can play it multiplayer, but you can only play the stock standard game if you play it multiplayer. But if you play it solo, you can add all the mods in. So you can add mods like where you've got yachts, so you can just live off a boat in a zombie apocalypse and see how long you last. You can hotwire cars. You can use modded weapons. Add silencers to your pistols. Blah 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 blah. You got katanas as your melee weapons, and you gotta, it's like an RPG as well because you gotta increase your skills so you can do more things. So you can build bases as well, or you can fortify buildings, like put your
You board the windows.
planks. Yeah, board up the windows. So you can board them with wooden nails, or you can do it with a blowtorch and metal. So you can really.
So it's kind of like a DayZ cross, like 7 days cross, like all these.
Yeah. It's kind of like a top-down one though. And it has a lot of if you get injured, you get a bandage. You gotta apply antiseptic. You gotta have meds. Sometimes you freak out, so your aim goes a bit off. All these other things, and especially with the mods on top of it. They've got extra cities, so these maps aren't just like a little map, like just the one town. You can add the mods in, and you can add the hilltop, the base from Walking Dead, if you wanted to.
Terminus and Hilltop and
or you can add the prison from the movie, from the TV
Alexandria.
series Walking Dead, or because you can add other maps onto it.
Can you add characters or just the maps?
You can add Soul. There's a mod called Soul Survivors, and essentially you just add other random survivors. So sometimes you might run into hostile ones, so they'll try and kill you for your food and water.
Damn.
Or you can find other survivors, and they're just trying to survive as well. So you can add them to your group and have them join you. And as soon as you've got a base set up, you can set up farms, you can set up water get water, you can set up generators so you have, power, because eventually the power and the water will get cut off. Stuff like that. Right now, my playthrough, I've fortified a military base, set up in a military hospital, got supplies, weapons. I've got like, 12 survivors I've recruited. One does farming, another one, gets dead bodies, patrols. I've got a doctor.
That's a lot. That's a lot you
Yeah.
can do. That's insane.
I've got a preacher on the thing. I've collected all these survivors.
May the zombies get lost.
Yeah. I've fortified this place, and the military base is right next to like this major city as well, so I can quickly go in for raids. But you got to watch out because they can easily swarm you. So, if you make sound, they'll start changing it. Or you can change the settings as well. You can make it like 28 days later. So, settings. So, during the day, it's all safe. There's no zombies, but they're hiding inside buildings. At nighttime, they come out of the buildings and they're runners.
Oh, that's crazy.
So,
that's pretty cool.
It's like that. You can change the settings. You can have it like Project Zomboid. Yeah, you're like, yes, I'm going to play the game. So check it out, see if you like it. I know Slush Puppy, the streamer, he's been playing it lately. His playthrough is pretty good. And a few other streamers. It's been popping up on Twitch a lot lately. But, it was like, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I've been playing it for years. The game's pretty old, but the Build 41 is what you want to do if you want to play it solo. Yeah, it's an old game, but it's, there's multiplayer servers you can play. It is a fantastic game. It's a lot of, because the mods that make it. The mods that make it worthwhile these days. And that's one of those things where you've got to love the PC community where
I love
they just
PC.
add mods for games. Where
it's like came to Days Gone, have mods or.
Well, yeah. It's the day before I really want to play as well.
Oh yeah, it's like the Last of Us Cross Division.
Yeah. That one and Back for Blood because of good old fun, in and out.
It's only a couple of months.
Zombies.
Like
it's
July.
going to be a couple of months. I reckon they're going to have it released pretty
July
soon.
24th. You can play it on the 19th, 5 days early. If you get the deluxe, you get it nearly a week early.
Yeah, but it's
definitely. Is that worth it? Do you reckon? Maybe for Back for Blood.
I think Back for Blood's going to be good. It's
Yeah,
if you like Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah.
If you like, Left 4
like...
Dead. Considering like you see one of the bosses in it, it's like towering in this tunnel.
Like in the gameplay trailer, they got that big guy in the fucking bridge, like in that little tunnel.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of references to like the old school characters, but they're reimagined, like re-envisioned.
Yeah.
Because there's still like the same essence of like the long, tall, like the lickers
like,
and like the boomers and stuff and all that kind of stuff, the tanks and stuff, but they're reimagined. I think they wanted to get away from that IP, and because I think the thing too is there's always been jokes. Well, that's the thing. There's always been that jokes with like threes of everything, and I think to break that, they wanted to be a joke to break away from that. They wanted to,
Well, then what's
like Back for Blood.
Left Behind?
Who knows? So it's just the whole joke that they've always had.
Left 4 Dead again.
Because Valve have never really done threes. Valve's never done threes of anything.
Technically, Half-Life Alyx is a third.
But it's not called Half-Life 3. That's the thing.
No.
And that's the thing. There was years ago. There was a progress point of like what they had for Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
And
I reckon you play what they had, but that's not very much.
It's crazy that they had something there that was going to be worked on and then just stopped. But
it would have been called that though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, it would have been, but who knows?
Would have been their first 3.
You got any other news there, Jim? What do you got to talk about?
Remember when PlayStation were taking down the PS3 and Vita services?
Oh, yes!
They backtracked it and reversed it, so they're staying up after a lot of protest.
PSP's going down, but the PS3 and PS Vita's staying up.
No one plays that anyway. Like, PSP's dead for ages.
Which is the next conversion to that is the PS Vita. It's like PS2, PS3. It's like, of course you're going to get rid of PS2 service because you
Vita
PS3.
was the Switch before the Switch. Like, that thing was a beast. But no one took to it because it was so early.
Yeah.
And then the Switch came out and people were like, I love handhelds. The fucking Vita was there for like 6 years.
Well, that's exactly. You had the internet capabilities. You could connect to the net. You could do everything with it. You could browse on the internet with it. You could do all kinds of stuff.
It had good games. Like, it had AAA developers making games for it.
You could watch your movies, like actually stream movies to it, like watch stuff. Like, you could do all kinds of stuff.
You can still buy Vitas. They're pretty cheap. Like, I want to get one just say that I've got one now. Like, because they've stopped making them. But Sony make everything like like the VR. That's stuck now. But like the Vita should have been.
I feel like it
big
definitely
hit as
comes
well.
in a thing with time because people weren't into that kind of gaming back then.
They had Game Boys, and then that was a next step up. Like,
But it's because it was on PlayStation and people were like games with Game Boy. You could keep traveling.
everyone had
games.
PSP though.
Not a lot of people had PSP.
I know I had.
I got into the PSP like way after the era had done,
Yeah.
and my PSP was like the basic non-internet version.
Oh,
It was the light PSP basically.
I mean, the Vita though, that
And Vita's by then when
I
those
called it better than what the Switch is. Really, like it had the games.
It was proper mobile, like portable gaming. Like it was.
Yeah.
It had everything.
Also, I mean the Blizzard thing. The Lambo, the Hurricane came in the Rocket League.
Yes, that's a big Rocket League.
Lamborghini, which, if you want it, it's like $30. Considering back in the day, that would have cost like what, $5 at most.
Yeah.
And also, as we said, Warzone got nuked. Come out to Verdansk 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Went
played
back in
that yesterday.
Well, actually, the funny thing I do remember, the only reason I saw that though and knew what was going on with that was Doctor Disrespect the other day put out a tweet, and he was just he had to put a tweet out, and it was just a bunch of like panels of screenshots of people that were covering the event. I don't know what he was getting at exactly, but it's basically everyone covering the whole event of like the whole new thing, and it was basically everyone had the exact same thumbnail. Like that was the joke, I guess, because it's just like someone going, oh, the head to the side is just nuclear. It's like bananas. It's just explosion. It's just like
It's
okay,
explosion.
and he just shared that on his Twitter, and that's all he shared. He was just like, boom, this. It's just like 9, like it was like 9 or like was it 9, 13 or 15, like different little screenshots in a thing paneled. And it's just all the people with the exact same thumbnail, like all these like high players, YouTubers or whatever that do gaming, and it's just like here's content. It's like it's the exact same thing. It's like there's no creation. I guess he was getting at like there's no creation, no reality, like originality. It's
No
just like
creativity,
it's like oh look, explosion, face react. Like that's all it was.
Exactly.
Like that's why I've like referenced. I'll lead from that to segue to our thumbnails. Like I've been putting up a few more thumbnails lately. That was the latest one I'd done, which I sent to Jim, so he's seeing what that looks like on the latest episode. Not the latest episode, but I finally envisioned what I wanted. Like where I was saying, where I wanted to have Johnny Sins read the newspaper. I finally got it how I did it. And it looks fucking great. It looks so good.
It's like Wookiee. It's like Wookiee lives. Got a fucking.
It's got one of our old It's got one of our old thumbnails on it. So I had the idea. So I ended up using one of the old thumbnails from another episode that you were in, and it was kind of like because we had a gap and then you were back again. It kind of was like okay, you're back again kind of thing, and it's like kind of like a little reference. I was like, it's a nice little. Yeah, it's great, and it stands out. It's just great though. Johnny Sins has got the newspaper. And it's actually holding it kind of like I wanted to.
Cheeky smirk.
He's like Harry News, like the newspaper's called Harry News. And it's like Wookiee rants, and it has it's like oh so good. Episode 11, I think it was. So I gotta make more thumbnails. I'm getting a bit tricky because I'm basing off the names a little bit and what we've talked about. And I'm like,
some of the names you can't really. I mean, you can, but
you can't transfer it across. You got to try and transfer across. Like I'm trying to. That's my art style. Like I try to transfer across the names with the caption. So like
some of the names are random.
Yeah, that's the point. I want them to be odd so they stand out, but then thumbnail's going to kind of portray that a little bit. And...
No, but you can also just take one part of that name as the thumbnail, though. Like you don't have to do the whole name.
No. Yeah. But it's just getting that
so,
vibe. But that worked great.
The thumbnail for this one is going to be an explosion in the background. Our faces go up.
Yeah, maybe it could be that. Have the explosion.
Wait, what was it going to be? Fucking. You had the idea earlier as well.
What was that for? Which one was it? The
cold ones, remember?
Oh, cold ones. Put our heads on like Max Mofos and bloody Chad's. Put Chad's head, their bodies in, and then have us and do like a cold ones knockoff thumbnail or whatever it was. No.
Cold ones.
I look at their thumbnails. I gotta find their thumbnails. Do a knockoff of cold ones thumbnail. So because we're drinking beers, I thought we'll do cold ones. Jim's out. I'm out. I need to get another brew.
Yeah, I'm nearly out.
Oh,
I'm so out.
I'm might break the seal soon. So
yeah, no, we're gonna have to. I think we'll start wrapping this up too.
Out.
Out.
So, you got any more news there, Jim? We're all out. We're all out.
Any more news, Jim? No.
Any more news?
Just that fire mark thing. We'll fire.
I got nothing else. You got anything you want to talk about else? Nah, I think we'll keep this nice and short.
Nothing really happened, really.
No.
Yeah, nothing's really eventful. Like, we've got a long weekend this weekend. I think I'm just going to...
No, I've had a long weekend too.
Dawn service and go to the pub and play some 2-ups.
I'll just...
I'm only drinking till I got...
You got beers? Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
I got the whole weekend off as well. For a change, for a change, I've actually got a long weekend. I actually put my name down at work for the long weekend.
It's a long
Actually,
weekend.
I actually wanted to work. Like I usually work most public holidays. I wanted to work, but I didn't end up getting my name put. Like I put my name down, but they just didn't give me the shift. So I'm like, oh well, long weekend for me. I'll get the beers and.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's
I'm not used to it.
good that it's
I'm not used to it.
quiet because I'm like saving money because I just got my accommodation booked and sorted out PAX for this year. So PAX is definitely on for me this year.
I wouldn't mind going, but at the same time, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Wait till it's big and wonderful again.
I'll wait till next year once
I'm making up for last year, so I'm just gonna get extra really happy.
Well, I want to. Like, it'd be good. That's what I'd mostly do next year. I've got to save up my pennies, but at this stage, like, this year's been pretty hard on me so far. At this stage, I've earned, technically, through my earnings this year, have been a lot less.
Yeah.
So this year's a bit of a struggle for me. This is a bit of a struggle. So I don't know whether it is COVID or not. Like, I feel like even if there was no COVID, I feel like I'm in a rut of a struggle.
I remember before you were working flat chat.
Exactly.
And now it's like you're home usually.
That's what I mean. They've got so many other people working, so I'm like, I don't know.
So if that's the case, buy more Pickle Tube t-shirts.
That would help.
Everyone out there.
That would help me.
That would help. More Beardy.
Pickle Tube merch,
I'm
Red
not
Bubble.
wearing the Beardy Bros until next week.
No, I don't even have mine because I got the money to buy it and get it here in time. That's the hard part. I might have to just get a shirt. I might buy a cheap white shirt and just write Beardy Bros on it.
No, Des, I can get you a picture and you can put it over your screen and just like.
I'll make a custom unique one. I'll just paint up Beardy Bros or something, or write Beardy Bros up on a shirt.
Special Beardy Bros merchandise.
One of a kind.
Limited time.
Limited
time.
Dude, could I just buy cheap shirts and just draw on them and be like Beardy Bros merch and then try and sell them?
Well, was that
me with a marker just writing on it, Beardy Bros, and like design?
They release limited edition merch, very limited number, so it's like, let's say 25, and it's only at like $30 each a shirt. Yeah. And then you guys could always do a limited run, limited edition, one only. Like there's only 25 of these. That's it. That's the only run that you're gonna do. Then that's it. Once they're sold out, that's it.
Have a bearded pickle.
Yeah, I've done that. Originally, my original stream logo was... Yeah, no, my original... That's the thing. My original Pickle Tube TV logo was legit a pickle that I drew beard and glasses on. He had a big brown bushy beard, and it was just a pickle, and he had like glasses on and a big bushy beard. That was my original logo.
Make the shirt tie-dye.
Tie-dye. Oh, yeah.
Cut up tie-dye.
Well, I've been wanting to tie-dye some shirts. I've been wanting to tie-dye some shirts. Tie-dye 25 shirts and then just write Beardy Bros on them, across the chest, Beardy Bros.
Limited
Beardy Bros podcast across it.
Yeah. Signed by the cast of Beardy Bros.
I know how Jim will sign it, but I would have to forge his signature.
We could ship it. And how much to ship in just a t-shirt? Like a couple of bucks?
No. You can have it like... You guys can make like, 10 each. Have Tim Lynn run of 20 and 10 each, so you'll ship it, but you don't know which signatures.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be cool,
wouldn't it? Like, damn.
But you're gonna make it so it's permanent, so it doesn't come out in a couple washes. So
you get a permanent marker and try and seal it in there somehow.
Trying to seal it in, or
I think they just spray something over it or press it in.
Yeah, just a mine on. I don't know. Paint it in. Just get some fabric paint.
Damn.
Tie-dye and some fabric paint and just Beardy Bros.
That's a long way off to do something like that. Jesus.
Oh. It would be limited edition, so
that'd be dope.
It would be dope.
People would snatch that up, I reckon.
Limited edition 25 print.
I mean, I've got a limited edition T-shirt.
He's the one on the time. It's got the fuck up on it. I didn't even realise until I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, but you still didn't order it. You're like, I'm going to order one of them. Nope.
I know. I just haven't got around it because I haven't had the money to do it.
We could have them framed in the back of our.
I know. We're waiting to get one. It's just annoying that I don't have Afterpay.
Make one again, just that one
with the line in it.
Yeah, just to have it like on your wall underneath Aku.
Yeah. Because I've got multiple designs. I've got like a summer one. I've got like because it's like the leaves because our logo's the tree leaves.
The autumn.
And that's the autumn. So I've got one. I got like an autumn leaf one. There is like on the website. There's also like a normal like green frost Beardy Bros logo. Like they all come in the normal, and then it's just black. I think it's just black as well.
I got the black logo. Because it's on the green shirt. You don't really have green the leaves in the green.
So yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. But it's like it gives people options to do what they want to do. But
I'm gonna buy more merch there.
The reference to that was meaning like Beardy Bros all season round, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the
Well, we
different
are all
season
year
shirts.
round.
So that was the point.
We don't take breaks.
They need to.
We did Christmas. We did fucking Easter.
That's exactly it.
But
anyway.
we don't care.
Just
At least now we're on a yearly cycle now, like every year.
Well, was it next week? Would be the yearly episode. You free next weekend?
yeah.
You coming back for that?
Hang on.
yeah, I can come on.
Let
Yeah.
me have a look.
What are we gonna?
I'll think of some more weird merch that you guys could all.
Well, we got the main
You
topics.
know,
I mean, we'll have news, but our main topics we were going to aim for next week was is like a rehash over the whole year, because last year kind of made us to where we are now is because of how, if it wasn't for COVID, we wouldn't be doing, I guess, what we're doing. But it's kind of like being now it's a year.
52nd episode.
So being that's an episode, like it's a year, like it's been a year for our show. Want to go like look back over the year and go, what was, besides COVID, what was the worst thing of our year, and what was one of the best things of the year. So that's at least that, like, at least what's the best and what's the worst of the year. So at least go, recap, go, this is, maybe the worst time, whether it's like, shitty job experience or, something happened, besides COVID.
Do I need to bring a box of tissues?
Maybe.
Maybe, up to you. And then what's the best thing?
Well, we have
So,
to report Wookie's first episode, because that was just...
Yeah.
Not his first episode, which was episode 1 this season.
Juddy's, yeah.
Yeah, Juddy's.
I don't want to say too much now, because it'll spoil next week.
Should have
But
Juddy.
that's what I mean, like, I want to have things like, it's more like the episode...
We tried Juddy.
Yeah, I asked to see if Jody wanted to get on tonight, and he goes, "I'd love to, but I'm rearranging my room at the moment." He's building an ensuite to his to his streaming room. He's building an ensuite.
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, that dude don't muck around." So hopefully we might have him for next week. So if he's listening to this now, dude, hopefully you yourself sorted for next week, because it's the
that
year
reminds
anniversary.
me, like, I could actually have other guests lined up for you guys if you really want.
Ooh.
We would like to have Stubby for next week too, really, because he was...
Oh, I asked Subby, but he said he doesn't have time for it.
Yeah, did you say it was the year one, though?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
well.
you could probably...
There's Flack
Yep.
as well.
Oh.
Flack would be all right for the podcast.
Right?
Yep.
I recommend him. So yeah, see if there's anyone else. But yeah.
Like it's Stubby's.
Oh.
But that depends if you want to have like an interview type podcast as well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really want that, but like, it just... Who would just vibe? You and Flack, maybe. Maybe Juddy, he's free.
Yeah.
Put up a green screen behind you so you can see everything.
Well, I mean, I'm mainly thinking like definitely have Wookiee back because he's been part of it, especially Juddy because he's been part of it and big follower.
Fourth episode or fifth?
He was in our first, and then he's like been following since then.
No, but
Juddy.
Wookiee.
Oh yeah, he was like the fourth or fifth episode or something like that.
No, but he's been in so many episodes.
Yeah, he's been like four or something. Yeah, he's been a regular.
That's because I'm gonna make you look good. I've boosted the channel, so.
Well, that's what I was like, I upgraded in the Discord as well because you boosted it.
That was in it for like 3 or something, like.
Yeah.
That's
Geographically, it's too far away to do sexual favors, so this is the best that you guys can do. Afterwards, you both take your shirts off and turn off and stop the stream.
After the podcast, we get stripped
the nipple
down.
tassels come out. This is how we pay for our boost for the channel.
I'm actually floating ahead.
Oh god! Can you hold up? Then can you crouch down? Can you get that to the right level where it just covers up the white, and then tuck your arms down like there, and then if you go up a little bit, go up. You can't get it right because you just do it where your beard is.
Because the cam's too high up.
Yeah.
And like got the skin, neck and shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
No.
Wait.
And that reminds me again.
Yeah,
happy
like that.
birthday for both you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Last week was
Dale
mine.
for last week
and
and
the
Jim
weekend
for the week before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had our birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Feel so old.
I know we're getting old.
Oh, okay, I'll go.
29.
We're getting
Never
old.
looked this good, man.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. Yeah, we're definitely looking at trying to do something decent for. I gotta go through it. I really gotta try and go through it.
I haven't even looked at it yet. Like you told me like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I have done.
I know we're actually try and
you need
do
to do
like
a special
look like
montage intro for next.
That's what I wanted to do. Like I was saying that, so I wanted to clip stuff
What
together.
that means, Des? The
What?
old-fashioned intro.
Which one's that? The actually do the old intro where I'm like, how you doing, Jim? Whatever it was.
Yeah, like that old-fashioned intro, like back in the first.
How are you, Jim? What's happening, man? I have to listen back over that to reorganize.
No, you can do that, but you can grab bits of all the other episodes
And clip them
put it
together.
in a clip them together like in a montage,
You
but
haven't
to the
flipped
beat of what is that? That like do. Yeah, that song. No, you don't know that song.
I don't know.
I'll post it in the Discord, and you'll know exactly. Oh yeah, put to the Mortal Kombat music.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that'll be a thing.
There's
No,
something else
no,
for me.
no.
There's something else for me to edit. I know. There's something else for me to edit. Oh.
Oh, no.
That one episode that was like
Oh,
3
no,
hours
no,
long. I had to
no, no.
download like 150 reference photos to put into the podcast for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, next week wouldn't be. Could be 6 hours, really.
Oh my god, so
Could go
long.
till 9 till 3, 8 till 2.
But I think
Or longer.
I think we'll start wrapping up the
How
podcast.
long?
I think we'll start wrapping up the podcast. We can still keep going through what we're doing, but we'll start wrapping it up. So, Jim, if you want to wrap up the podcast, then we can have a little bit.
Always, man. I'm happy to. But, as always, thanks for Beards and Beardettes listening to episode 17, season 2.
With Wookiee.
With Wookiee, but as always, we've been Dale and Jim, and we'll catch, and Wookiee down there, and we'll catch you guys next week for our Beardyversary.
Beardyversary, yes.
Beardyverse.
Our the Beardyverse. Oh,
Beardyverse.
the Beardyversary. But in the meantime, stay awesome, stay fresh, and bye.
Stay frosty.
Very
I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know what meme to say. I was like, I don't.
Stay frosty.
I think I was gonna go zabada wee.
Zabadoo, zabadoo, zabadoo.
This is the spuds in the water make the frogs gay.
The water being the frogs game. Oh god.
Oh.
I need to get that drunk again.
Hey, do you know that episode? We're gonna whisper all day. We're gonna talk forever in the episode.
Do a special
Special
ASMR episode.
ASMR. What was it? We whisper in the mic.
ASMR.
Oh, wait, ASMR on the episode. We were gonna be very quiet. We did this the other day. It was so good.